Odontogenic infection has affected humankind since our civilization has been fighting against microorganisms by man dates back to ancient civilization. Incidence of space infection has been greatly reduced by modern antibiotic therapy, but it can be fatal and may lead to serious unwanted complications if disregarded. Appropriate diagnosis is decisive to practical management of all disease. And when it comes to facial spaces, this key play a crucial portrayal. As in head and neck infection, facial and cervical fascia work as a powerful roadblock against the dissemination of infection. A 59-year-old male visited our hospital with complaint of pain and swelling of upper face since 6 days. After thorough examination and investigation, he was diagnosed as a case of canine space infection. He refused any invasive treatment and took only medicinal treatment. 3 days later, he reported back with gross fluctuant swelling on forehead and draining abscess from right infraorbital region. His infection started spreading to frontal region. Under antibiotic coverage and following sterilization protocol, extraction of right central incisor and canine was done, followed by incision and drainage from infraorbital and frontal region. Through and through patency was achieved, and a single rubber drain was placed from glabular region to right infraorbital region. Drain was stabilized with stay sutures. Patient was discharged after 3 days and was evaluated at regular intervals. This is patient 10th day post-op presentation, and this is after 1 month. Levator labii superioris overlies the apex of canine root and inserts in the angle of mouth. At instances, if canine infection perforates the lateral cortex or wall of maxillary bone at a superior level to the origin of muscle, the potential canine space is affected. Sometimes pus may originate below the attachment of levator labii superioris and levator anguli oris to drain medially between levator labii superioris and levator labii superioris eleganaceae to involve the medial canthal region in a canine with long root. Abscess of this space requires surgical intervention, as if left untreated may lead to more complication as the infection supersede the eyelid and affect the frontal region as seen in our present case. Possible route of extension to frontal region might be from medial canthal region to superficial to fan-shaped procerus muscle. This case mimics to chronic dacrocystitis, as in this patient usually present with a mass or abscess under the medial canthal tendon. But here there was no obvious chronic conjunctivitis, so we could differentiate from the same. At many instances, facial infection turn out to be potentially lethal complication. A detailed knowledge of the anatomic pathway is essential to be aware of possible way in which odontogenic infection can spread. Rewarding treatment require early perception, establishment of etiological factors, patient awareness, and precise medical and surgical management. These are the references. Thank you.